Come, mighty teaching from the brother Tuzzle Clark, the watchman. You know, letting our people know, trying to wake up our people through the spirit of Ba Ha Sham YAHAWASHI to let them understand the times that we're in. You know, because the times are getting very scarce. When you're looking around and you're seeing how Babylon is falling, and the people that are in rulership are falling, man. You know, because the people are mourning now. Like when the wicked bear rule, Brother Kushar, could you get that? When the wicked bear rule, the people mourn, man. But when the righteous are in power, man, the people rejoice. The earth is lamenting that what we're on, and wickedness is multiplying throughout the four winds on a high scale at the moment.
This is Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
And that's what's happening now. Like people, there's been a lot of mourning, but what's happened is through their philosophies and through the wickedness and their witchcraft, a lot of people are becoming now numb to what's actually happening. And that's just because of the Most High setting a lot of stumbling blocks now, because the time's about to come. You know? If it first begins at the house of power, what's more so for you that obeying not the gospel, man? That's what the Most High said. If it first begins at his house, what more so for you that disobey the gospel? And there's been a lot of disobedience. But a lot of people are starting to question and wake up, man. We're trying to find their way, trying to seek righteousness. But they like to use their social media outlets to teach them, man. But the wrong sources, they go to the wrong sources. You got that one?
This is the book of Sirach 10 and verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
And that's what we're seeing, man. It's happening at a slow pace. Though it tarry, it shall surely come. You know? Like we know the translation is what's is that what it's called? The transition is happening. We're seeing the balance starting to shift now. Because of the Israelites are waking up to wake up their people, man. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba Ha Sham YAHAWASHI. The watchmen are out here to wake up you so-called blacks, Native American, Seminole Indians, to let you know who you are.
This is Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 16. For the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed.
Come. So you like to follow the so-called right man and his leadership, but then you also like to follow the wicked men in Israel. Give me Baba Kushar, Maccabees, 1 Maccabees 1 and 11. Because there are wicked people amongst our nation as well, man. That you like to follow on your social media platform. Just because they got the same skin tone as you, doesn't mean they're going to lead you in a path of righteousness, man. They'll also lead you into the path of folly. But you would desire to hear them, then you would hear the brothers that are teaching you the gospels, the law, statutes, and commandment. Read, King.
This is 1 Maccabees 1 and verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them of the people, were so forward therein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen.
And that's what it is. They're giving you these big time money contracts, television deals, social media platforms. Who? The so-called blacks, Native American, Seminole Indian people, the Israelites of the Bible, the real biblical Israelites, we post more on social media than any other nation. We feed into, we're on social media more than the other nations. We feed into their society. We're actually paying them to keep us enslaved. Instead of going and looking at an outlet that's going to teach you who you are. Brothers have been on the highways and byways for many generations. And then when the internet came, we started pushing it across the four winds, man, using the way of the unicorns. But you don't want to hear righteousness. You rather hear deceit. Bible construct, get that for me in Isaiah. Isaiah, Jeremiah. Jeremiah. Prophesy deceit. Jeremiah. Salakia is
Isaiah 30, bro.
Come. Yeah, bring that out for me, Baba Kashar.
This is the book of Isaiah 30 and verse 9. That this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of Yahweh, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits.
Man, they want us to speak some, oh yeah, God loves everyone, don't worry, blah blah blah. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna come and tell you that's saved. If we're gonna that's how we will get a crowd.
Yeah, that's when we'll start getting crowds, innit? If we've got a white Caesar Borgia up here, a so-called a Jesus Christ, and you know we're talking John 3:16.
We'll get that. Yeah, that's one way we'll get a crowd. Another way is when we start with our people now in this day and age. When you start talking about the so-called white man and what he's done to our nation, because everybody's bringing it up now. It's nothing secret. All the nations are talking about the so-called white leaders of this world, man. But when we start doing it and we start doing it biblically, no, you can't talk about the white man like that. But we're telling you who they are as a nation biblically and who you are as a nation biblically. Because the Most High don't deal with skin tones and skin colors. He deals with nations of people. Yes, it is mentioned in the book for reference, for understanding. But we know the scriptures. Give me Matthews. Get me Matthews chapter 13 and 25. Yeah? Start 24. This is why we say that the Most High does not deal with skin tone.
This is the book of Matthew 13 and verse 24. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which soweth good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed.
Who?
But while he slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way.
And that's why we say it's not about the skin tone, it's about your ancestral line, your forefathers bloodline. Because there are many of us that look like Israel but are not Israel. They are the heathens. The Hamites look like us. That's why the so-called white man will teach you that it's the Hamitic nation. The Hamitic nation are cursed. That's why the so-called white man will teach you that. That's why all so-called black people think that we're Hamites. We're not. Because the Ethiopians know who they are. The Somalians know who they are. But we do not know who we are. Read.
This is Jeremiah chapter 12 and verses 9. Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds around about are against her. They come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour.
And that's what's going to happen. That's why the Most High, he says, if you can keep reading that Matthew, he said that he's going to separate the tares among the wheat. We shouldn't have to do that. All we come and do is teach. Come on now.
Hosea 7 and 8. Ephraim have mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned.
And Ephraim will be the northern kingdom, man. Like if you look at the so-called Hispanic people, the Latinos, they are a lighter shade than us. They are light brown. Some of them look like a so-called white man, like an Edomite. But they are of Israel through the seed line of their fathers. Yeah?
This is Romans 9 and verse 6. Not as though the word of power have taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel.
None. So you're not all Israel that are of Israel. The reason why he says that is because some of you fall into wickedness. You're not holding the Israelite spirit and the Israelite vibrations and the law, statutes and commandments. You want to act like the heathens. And you're following the multitude to do evil. But the reason why I brought that out is because of the social media outlet that's going on now. With these damn record labels, man. They're being exposed. And what it is, the people that are exposing them, they know who they are, but they're not doing it, thus saying. Because they have ties with those people in that industry. They want to live comfortably, yeah?
This is Luke chapter 8 and verse 17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come aboard.
Ah, man. So all the secret things, all the things that you think are in secret, it's going to manifest, it's going to come to light. And the only way that all of these things are going to come to light is through the spirit and power of Ba Ha Sham YAHAWASHI when these prophecies come out. Like the brother said, you can't do nothing against the truth, but for the truth, man, the truth shall set you free. You shall know the truth and you shall be free. And now that the more so the brothers are out there, shalom, mighty shalom to the brothers out there on the highways and byways making your life a living sacrifice, to preach the gospel, to wake up the people, to let these prophecies be fulfilled. Mighty shalom to you.
Yeah, Nahum 3 and verse 5. Behold, I am against thee, saith Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirt upon thy face. I will show the nations thy nakedness and the kingdoms thy shame.
And that's what's happening. Because of these people that run the industry, they've been getting exposed. And the Most High is revealing their nakedness. But a lot of the men in that industry, in the Israelite community, are under the MK Ultra, man. So they have a zeal according to knowledge. We brought that out earlier. They have a zeal, but not according to knowledge. They have a zeal, but not according to knowledge. But you are fast to listen to them and stop there. Instead of Baba Kushal, give me 2 Timothy chapter 2:15. You are quick to just listen to what they're saying, but not to go and do the research. Yeah?
This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 15. Study to show thyself approved unto power, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth.
So when you start hearing these things, and you're seeing the brothers are out, they're prophesying and telling you who these nations are, go and study, man. Don't get trapped into that, oh, we're all Africans, we're Egyptians, we're Nubians, we're kings and queens. Yes, we are kings, but you can't be queens because the queens are whore. Go and study and find out who you are as a nation, because the people in the industry know who you are. Yeah.
This is the book of Proverbs 15 and verse 28. The heart of the righteous studieth to answer, but the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things.
And that's what happens. The wicked are giving us evil, man. They gave us white Jesus and used our books to do so. But now that we've come to understanding, it's not what they say. We know the truth, man, and we're still learning.
This is Acts chapter 17 and 11. These were more noble than those in Thessalonica, in that they received the word with all readiness of mind, and searched the scriptures daily whether those things were so.
Yeah, man, that's what you have to do. When you start coming to understanding, you start seeing some things, no other book is going to tell you what that is. Because remember, the so-called white man through the Renaissance period have changed all the ordinances. They've whitewashed history. Yeah? And they made a so-called black man blacklisted. And then Hispanic man blacklisted. They made our people, our brothers and sisters in the industry to fight against us and teach us wickedness. But now they're being exposed. But it ain't just the industry, because it goes above the industry. It goes to the rulership.
Let's see some names, man. Let's see some names, man. What we got, Salaka King? I wanted to bring out some names because this industry thing has been happening for time. You got that the XX guy. What's his name? Little, not Little Nas X, man. The other one, that Triple X guy, man.
XXX tension.
Yeah, the tension, XXX tension, man. He went nuts, bro. Started rebelling, bro. They killed him, yeah. Oh, wiped him out, man. There you go. Who else you got, man? We got DMX. You were speaking to the brothers in HOI in Atlanta, man. Right? Brother Shower Park, man. Huh? He might have been, yeah. Bro, they been whacking them out, man. Who was?
Old Dirty Bastard.
Oh, no. You know who else was coming out as well? The Lauryn Hills and that. She went bonkers. Who else, man? The man was getting a sack, trying to get. They had a hitman after him, man. The one that is it? Not Wycliffe. What's his name? The one that was trying to look after Hades, man. The president for Hades, man.
Akon.
Wycliffe, man. It wasn't Wycliffe. It was in black. Is it Wycliffe, bro? Fuji's, isn't it? Yeah, man. Wycliffe and that, man. Them guys, man. Who else? Left Eye is coming out. Left Eye was coming out saying stuff about the industry, man. She got whacked out. Aaliyah maybe as well. She could be a sacrifice. You don't even know, man. A lot of these guys. Who else? There's so many, bro. Nick Cannon. Let's do some English guys, man. Wiley. You know what I mean? man like Bossy. Man like Bossy was getting too bossy, man. They humbled him, man. They took Nick Cannon. Alright? And you know what happens when they do that? They humble themselves, man. They be like, because they remember the paycheck, man. They're getting paid by these guys that they're trying to rebel against, so they had to humble themselves. No, Wiley's a road man, man. He don't care about it. You know, Wiley's not caring. But Wiley needs to be out here with the brothers now, man. Alright? But yeah, I got a verse, man. Do you know any more? Bring him up, man.
Yeah, man.
Wesley Snipes?
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes, bro.
Wesley Snipes.
Trying to do tax evasion and that. Tony Braxton and that.
Yeah.
I got a verse, man. This is Nehemiah. This is Nehemiah.
Yeah.
Salaka, Nehemiah. This is Nehemiah, and this is basically just talking about when Israel just gets half-hearted, man. This is Nehemiah chapter 5 and verse 1. And there was a great cry of the people and of their wives against their brethren and the Jews, for they were that said, we, our sons and our daughters are many, therefore we take up corn for them, that we may eat and live. Some also there were that said, we have mortgaged our lands, vineyards and houses, that we might buy corn because of the drought. And verse 4. There were also that said, we have borrowed money from the king's tribute, and that upon our lands and vineyards, yet now our flesh is as the flesh of our brethren, and our children as their children. And lo, we bring into bondage our sons and our daughters to be servants, and some of our daughters are brought up unto bondage already. Neither is it in our power to redeem them, for other men have their lands and vineyards.
And that's not far-fetched what's happening now. Like what's done in the old is done in the new, man. And these people in the industry, our brothers and sisters that sold that in the industry, that's what they've done. They've taken money from the kings of that industry, And now they can't save their sons and daughters because they binded a contract, man.
Unless their sons and daughters
repent and don't follow the multitude to be evil. But some of them have sold their daughters and sons for harlots, man. But they can still repent if they find the truth, man. They can find repentance. Remember, we don't inherit the sins of our fathers.
That's right.
We don't. That's the thing with Israel, and that's what Israel, you so-called blacks, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, you Latinos, Colombians. That's what you need to understand. We cannot inherit the sins of our fathers. Yeah. So we have a chance of repentance. The heathens have not a chance. Don't let them teach you wrong.
Revelations 18:2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and becoming an habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and fruit and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacy.
Khan. And that's what's happened, man. Babylon's falling, man. Babylon is falling, and wickedness and wickedness is multiplying, man. But even though they're fallen, they are rich in their delicacies because they've done what they were set out to do, man. They have done what they set out to do. But when that time comes, the Most High, He's gonna make right what is wrong. And then the saints are gonna be in rulership. So these are just things that happened in the days of Noah, man. In the days of Lot. These are biblical prophecies that are happening in front of your eyes. We know about the wars and rumors of wars. We know about the wickedness of the industry. But because shall jump back to the Nahum chapter 3 for me and go to verse 4. Yeah, just bring that one quickly and then we're gonna go here.
The book of Nahum. Nahum chapter 3 and verse 4. Because of a multitude of whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts that selleth nations through her whoredom, the families through her witchcrafts.
Yeah, that's Babylon, man. She's a well-favored harlot. Everybody says the American dream. Oh, I'm gonna move to England. I'm gonna be a Londoner. Good old London. They have got you, man. They sold you into their witchcraft. But the Most High said it is fallen now. They already got rich of the blood of the saints, man. But now it's time for them to pay back their rent. Rent is due. But we have to go through the prophecies first. That's what I'm saying. We shouldn't trust our enemies, man. Like, don't, even the people in the industry, don't trust them. Do your own research. Papa Kusha, bring this one out now.
This is the book of Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away.
And that's what certain people in the industry is doing right now. But they still got that in control ultra. We all know that Kanye West is bugging now. They've been trying to get Kanye for time. He's bugging now. Brothers are reaching out to him over in the States and trying to tell him to come on this side, man. Like, keep the law, statutes and commandments. But Kanye, he knows not to trust them, but he's still gonna follow after them because they're paying his way, man. He's like the rich man in Matthews. You can't even be like the rich man in Matthews, but where YAHAWASHI said, give up all your riches and follow me. He didn't want to give up the riches. He said he's kept the laws from when he was young. YAHAWASHI said, give up your riches and follow me. And then Israelite men don't want to give up riches when they have it. So look, hold on. Amazing nation, man. Yeah, man. And that's what it is. Kanye's got some riches, but they're cutting him off from his systems now, isn't it? From their system. So he can no longer use his accounts. They're freezing his money so he can't feed his children. And then what's that going to be? That's going to be another curse upon him, man. You know? Shalom. This has got 2 minutes? Yeah, but that's what it is, man. They will rather listen to a wicked man and a wicked woman in the industry than listen to a brother that's giving them truth and sincerity, man.
God!
Through the spirit and power of Ba Ha Sham YAHAWASHI. We're not coming out of our own vain lips. We're coming, thus saith, and we're giving you the prophecies of old and the prophecies to come, man. Baba Kushal, get me Sirach 13 and 23. Start 23.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 13 and verse 23. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he saith. They exalt it to the clouds. But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him.
And that's what's happening, man. That's what happens to us Israelites. When Kanye speaks, everybody's like Kanye West. Nick Cannon speaks, oh, Nick Cannon said this. Oh, this one speaks, yeah, he said this. But when we come and show you thus saying, oh no, man, no, yeah, that's racist, man. Oh, you can't say that, man, oh no. But we're giving you truth. We're giving you facts. We take the time as a body to go and study the word, to study history. But you rather follow a rich man because he's got money. Now ask yourself this, how did he get them riches? First Maccabees 1 and 11. That's how he got his riches. But that's because he's got money does not make him rich, man.
He waxed rich through the abundance of their delicacy.
Exactly. When we said they wax rich through the abundance of their delicacies. But when their rulership is gone, what are they going to do? Who are they going to cry on? Swear that's in the Psalms.
Yeah.
Never trust a man. What's the one in Psalms where it says, put not thy trust in men. Psalms 118. Get that one for me.
Oh.
This is the book of Psalms 118 and verse 6. Yahweh is on my side, I will not fear. What can man do unto me? Yahweh taketh my part with them that help me. Therefore shall I see my desire upon them that hate me. It is better to trust in Yahweh than to put confidence in man.
Exactly that, man. Exactly that. It's better to trust the Most High Yahweh, Ba Ha Sham YAHAWASHI, than to put your confidence in men. And what our people done in the industry, they put their confidence in man. And he's God. They made them sacrifices. And now they're going to reap what they sow. But we just pray that the children, that's why we pray for the children, man. That their children be saved, man. The Most High has mercy on them. For their parents did not know. They did err, not knowing the scriptures. That's why it's called a grace period. That's why Yahweh said, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do.
Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5. Trust in Yahweh with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths.
And that's what it's about, man. Trusting Yahweh with all thy heart. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom and knowledge. It's the beginning of understanding. So when you trust in him, you get more understanding, you get wisdom and knowledge. You don't have to fear the so-called white man and his industry. Or we biblically know them as the Amalekites. Amalek. Yeah? the original Jewish people. The ones that took the Ish. They come from the seed line of Esau, Edom. Give me Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 33. Because a lot of the men in that industry, they trim their ways, man, to hold their riches. So Kanye's only saying certain things, but they say it subliminally. They won't go wholehearted are we going in the scriptures. They won't go and tell you this X, Y, Z. They'll say this and they'll be like, oh yeah, because of... Yeah, nah, man. Say it with your chest, innit? Say it with the book. Say it with the words of Ba Ha Sham YAHAWASHI.
This is the book of Jeremiah 2 and verse 33. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways.
Exactly, and that's what you do. You trim your ways, so you're not coming wholeheartedly and coming from the gospel. When you don't come from the book of Yahweh, the law, statutes and commandments, you're going to make a multitude go into wickedness, man, because all they know you for is wickedness. So they're going to follow you and hear what you're saying, but they're not going to follow your actions because you have not taught them law, statutes and commandments. Because you trimmed your ways to seek love from your oppressor.
This is Revelations chapter 3. Revelations chapter 3 and verse 15. I know thy works and tribulation. I know thy, Revelations 3 and 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth.
And that's what it is. And that's what it is, man. Like, that's being lukewarm. If you're gonna talk about history and facts, you need to go wholeheartedly with the Bible, man. If you're gonna talk about who we are, knowing that you know the Bible, because everybody in this industry knows the Bible. The people in the industry know the Bible. You cannot out knowing the Bible. They will not tell you this until you get to a certain degree. That's why they have degrees, 33-degree Masons, 40-degree, 50. That's why they have those things. Because you have to learn their way, but by learning the ways you have to learn the Bible in order to get to that, so you can confound the people. So when you start doing thus saith, and you go against them, it's a bug out for you, man. Oh, because y'all get me on Exodus and the multitude follow evil. Follow not multitude evil. Because that's what it does. That's what they do to the people in that industry. They did it with the Beyoncés, you know, Good Girl Gone Bad, Rihanna. Done it with the who else? The Little Nas X's. They've done it with all these people, man. Yeah, with that there, King. Shalom. Not Celestia, King. Not Celestia. Yahawah, yeah? Not Celestia. YAHAWASHI. Not Celestia. Eh?
Yeah, I hear that, man. What is that from, like, from the Bible? What, from the Quran?
No, not from the Quran. Listen.
That's the next man now.
Listen.
The next prophet.
There's a stumbling block on you because your spirit, brother, hear this. It's for you.
No. Not a mic, but in the TikTok.
I'll put the mic down. Huh? But I'm still gonna say it because it's for our people. We're in a state of delusion where we need to wake up.
Yeah, I hear that, man. No, I can't.
2 minutes. And that's what it is. When you start telling them thus saith,
You're on mic and thing. That's right.
I'll put the mic down. Look, the mic is down, brother.
Run where?
Got too heavy. I even humbled to put the mic down to speak to the brother. But I'm still gonna say thus saith the Most High. I'm gonna still cry it out. Sure. I don't need the mic. I can cry it loud. Get that Isaiah again. Get that Isaiah again. Because brother says it all the time, we don't even need a microphone. We don't even need a camera. This is just to edify the people. Bring it out, King.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 58, verse 1. Cry aloud! Do what? Cry aloud! Do what? Cry aloud! That's what we're doing. We don't need a microphone. Spare not! Yeah. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet. Lift up the mic. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet. And do what? And show my people their transgressions. Yeah, and the house of Jacob their sins. So we don't need a microphone. We use it for edification purposes, but we don't need it.
That's why there's stumbling blocks on our people, man. And we put it out, wisdom cry out, shit out, we're voice in the street.
It's good to cry out.
You know?
Vibration.
But yeah, let's get back into it. Exodus.
This is the book of Exodus 23 and verse 1, I'll start, yeah? Thou shalt not raise a false report. Put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment.
Exactly, man. The first one is with the wicked, man. Like, don't speak on something and then try and batter it up with to make it sound smoother than way it is. You know, that's funny. That's still holding on to that vibration of a slave mentality. And then don't follow the multitude to do evil. Don't teach your people. Don't even teach your people to do evil, because that's you being in part of that multitude, man. So we're out here to bring it out and tell you what Kanye West, what Nick Cannon, all the ones that did not get. Like the ones that got I hope the Most High have mercy upon them on their judgment day. The ones that are seeking, the DMXs, the Coolios, the ones that were seeking the truth, the ones that started to bring it out in truth and sincerity as much as they can, and the Most High took them beforehand. I hope the Most High have mercy upon them, man, and they come back like mighty warriors, so you can see your real kings to your left-hand kings, man. Yeah, so give me 1 John chapter 4 verse 5. Because of the people in the industry, they as much as they will sit there and talk about the industry and what's going on, they're still a part of it, man.
Double standards.
The double standards, the lukewarmness.
Double-minded man.
You know, get me that in Matthews. They can't serve Yahweh and Baal. Good?
This is the book of of 1 John chapter 4 and verse 5. They are of the world, therefore speak they of the world, and the world heareth them.
Yeah, man. Like, they love the world, man. They love the world. They love the world. That's why you hear not knowing the scriptures when the Most High talks about the world. Because they love the world. They love the industry. That's a world, man. It's a world of its own. What do they say when you go to Hollywood? Oh, I'm in a whole new world. It's a whole new world for me in Hollywood.
Called America, the new world, man.
Yeah, there's a film called The New World, isn't it?
Exactly.
And that's what it is, the new world. So there's more worlds, man. You just need to understand what world that the Most High is talking about. Bring that out, please.
This is Matthew chapter 6 and verse 24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve Yahweh and Mammon.
Come on, man. You can't serve Yahweh and your oppressor.
That's right. Can't be lukewarm, man.
You can't be lukewarm. So if you're gonna say something that's saved, say it with your chest. Go to the Gospels. Go to the book. Go precept upon precept, line upon line. Don't say one thing and then start apologizing.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 14. Be ye not equally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion with have light with darkness, and that what concord have Hamashiach with Baba, or what part have he that believeth with an infidel, and what agreement have the temple of the Most High with idols? For ye are the temple of the living power, and Yahweh have said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their power, and they shall be my people.
Man, separate yourself, man. Because when you separate them, that's why the Most High said, we're a special people unto himself, a holy nation, man.
This is Amos. This is Amos. This is Amos chapter 3 and verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed?
Yeah, exactly that. Can two walk together? All praises, because that's the one I was looking for. Like, can two walk together unless they be in agreements, man? If you Kanye West, you can't be like, you can't be in one standard and then go for the other standard. It don't work, man. You can't be up in the industry and then try and repute the industry. Try and be a prophet. That's not. It's not gonna work, man.
Yeah. Call himself Yeezy and them thing there.
You know?
What are you trying to do? He was trying to say about white lives matter, man. Like, he's trying to be stupid, man. Then he's trying to talk about be careful. What did he say? The Amalek, what? The Jew. What did he say, bro?
Yeah, he said DEFCON 3 on all Jewish people.
DEFCON 3. Bro, someone look up DEFCON 3, bro. What does DEFCON 3 on Jewish people actually mean? Let's go to Google, man. Because last time I checked, we've been saying Revelations 2 and 9, man. Revelations 3 and 9 and stuff like that, man. Yeah, we've been saying Numbers 24 and 18, man. The Bible's already warned us about DEFCON on the Jewish people, man. DEFCON 3. What's DEFCON?
Open up.
Yeah, DEFCON 3, the meaning of it is a military term, and it means increase in force readiness above normal readiness.
Yeah, man. But like brother said, we've already been on DEFCON 3 with these Amalekites, man, with these nations.
Hey, I've got to agree.
Like since Exodus from the beginning.
From Numbers.
From
Genesis, man.
From Genesis. Damn, we've been on DEFCON 3 with these other nations, man.
Let me get DEFCON 3 in Joel chapter 3 and verse 9.
Bring it out!
Proclaim this among the Gentiles.
Do what?
Proclaim this among the Gentiles.
Bring it.
Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men.
Yeah?
Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
Exactly. Let the weak say I am strong, but the weak right now is us. But we're going to be strong for the spirit and power of Yahawah, Ba Ha Sham YAHAWASHI.
Hey,
Yeah, brilliant.
Kanye West should be reading Joel 3 and 9.
Exactly. Kanye, you should be reading the whole gospel, Kanye.
Yeah.
Not just Joel 3 and 9. You should be reading the whole book and gain understanding, and go to brothers that have understanding, man. When them brothers told you, Kanye, come and sit with us, you should go and sit with them brothers, because them brothers are going to show you love.
I've got numbers.
Yeah?
I've got numbers.
Bring out the numbers.
Let's kill out Amalek.
This is Numbers chapter 24 and verse 18. And Edom shall be a possession. Syria also shall be a possession for his enemies. And Israel shall do valiantly. And Israel shall do valiantly. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. And when he looked on Amalek,
When he looked on who?
and when he looked on Amalek,
So Amalek being that nation that run and govern everything right now, the Jewish people, the Ishiwashi people, not the real Jews, not the ones up Stamford Hill, the ones that in Stamford Hill claiming to be us, those people there, this is what the Most High is saying, yeah?
and when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever.
For how long?
Forever.
Just for a short time.
Forever.
Forever, ever. Forever, ever. Forever, ever. Yeah?
Forever.
The same way the saints are going to rule the kingdom forever, even forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. That's what's going to happen.
Praise the Lord.
So all you so-called, all you other nations, you Edomites, you Ishmaelites, you Moabites, you Hamites, you Ammonites, you Amalek is mentioned twice. Get that quickly. Can you get that with Psalm chapter 83? Because Amalek is mentioned. Amalek is Edom. So you so-called white men have a price to pay. But Amalek, you are the first of the nation. From the top.
This is Psalms 83 and verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee, the tabernacle of Edom, the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek,
And who?
and Amalek.
So you're mentioned twice. Edom, Amalek.
God bless you, brother.
Amalek is of a nation of Edom.
That's right.
They are Edomites,
That's right.
Jesus.
not Jesus. Not Jesus, man. Yeah? Amalek, you are going to be destroyed.
That's right.
Because the ones that they got up in Stamford Hill, they are sugarcoating for the ones that are in rulership right now. Yeah?
I got
They are sugarcoating for the ones that are in rulership. Because the ones that own the banking systems, the ones that own the pharmaceuticals, the media outlets, the shopping malls, the shopping centers, those are the ones, you don't see them with the curly whirlies.
And I got this, right? This is Genesis, just to go to the point why you mentioned the Amalek or Edomites or Esau, we're going to have to go to Genesis.
Let's go to the beginning. That's right.
This is Genesis chapter 36 and verse 8. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. And these are the names of Esau's sons: Eliphaz, the son of Adar, the wife of Esau, Revel, the son of Bashimath, the wife of Esau. The sons of Eliphaz were Timan, Omar, Zippor, and Getam, and Kenez. And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son. And she bare to Eliphaz Amalek.
Who?
Amalek. These were the sons of Adan's, Esau's wife.
Can. So so Amalek is of Esau, man. This is what I said at the beginning. It's not to do with the skin tone, it's to do with the nation of people and the bloodline. That's why I said the Most High does not deal with skin tones, he does with your forefather, your bloodline, your heritage. The curses that have been put onto the Israelites in Deuteronomy chapter 28. And the nation that has come up against us, which are the Amalekites, which is revealed in Revelation chapter 2 and chapter 3 and verse 9. Baba Kashar, bring that one. Bring out what. Give me 2 and 9 and then jump to 3 and 9.
This is Revelation 2 and verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich.
So we know who works the hardest through slavery, who goes through tribulation, like always being tried, can never get a break, and who's in poverty, that lives in the ghettos. And we brought it out in the last session. Ghetto means the dwelling place of the Jews. But what they've done in this industry now, they've changed it and put Jewish. They don't dwell in the ghettos, man. The ghettos is the slum areas. Read.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan.
What are they?
But are the synagogue of Satan.
And I'll never see a so-called black man go into a synagogue, but the Jewish people, they call their church a synagogue. But like I was saying, the ones that are in Stamford Hills are a sugarcoat for the ones that are running the industry. Because the ones that are in the industry do not wear the curly whirlies or the black. They don't do that. They're
like the undercovers. They're like the undies, man. Yeah, the undies. They're the plain clothes ones, man.
They're the plain clothes in rulership, man.
His name, what's that guy that done the Waterboy film? Adam Sandler's and that, man. They're the undercover Amalekites, man.
They're the ones that are bearing rulership over us. The Mel Gibsons.
Yeah. What was the First Samuel's
15 and 8.
First Samuel 15 and 8? I got mine here still. This is Exodus chapter 17 and verse 8.
Bring it up.
Then came Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim. And Moses said unto Joshua, choose us out men and go out, fight with Amalek.
Fight with who?
Fight with Amalek.
I can't wait for that day, man. I got patience. I can't wait for that day because it's going to be a mighty day. Most High willing that me and my brothers, we keep saying it that we're there. Read, King.
Go out and fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of power in mine hand. So Joshua did as Moses had said to him, and fought with Amalek. And Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up onto the top of the hill. And it came to pass, when Moses held up his hand, and Israel prevailed. And when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. But Moses' hands were heavy, and they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat thereon. And Aaron and Hur stayed up his hands, and the one on the one side and the other on the other side, and his hands were steady until the going down of the sun. Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword.
Khan. All praises to Ba Ha Sham YAHAWASHI, man. Mighty warriors in Israel. Joshua, Caleb, Moses, Aaron. That's why we have to gather together, O nation of desire. Because when we gather, nothing can prevail against us, because we have the spirit and power of Ba Ha Sham YAHAWASHI.
Big up Aaron and Hur to hold up his hands, man.
Big up Aaron and Hur, man.
Hold up his hands.
They're holding up his hand. That's why it says 2 or 3 gathered, he's in the midst of them, man.
That's right.
That's why it says that you can't be on your own in the Proverbs. Because if you fool, you're going to drop, man. Your nation will drop. That's why you have to have like-minded brothers in this.
There to hold and pick you up.
Khan, no one will be there to pick you up. I need to precept that with that one. Khan.
Yeah, this is Exodus 17 and 14. And Yahweh said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua. For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven.
But the Amalekites is still here, so the Most High has not fulfilled that prophecy yet. This is a prophetic time that we're in. Yeah? He said he's going to put out the remembrance of Amalek. The Amalekites are still around, man.
Verse 15, and Moses built an altar and called it the name of Yahweh, and named of it Yahweh Nissi. Verse 16, for he said, because Yahweh have sworn that Yahweh will have, so let me say that again. For he said, because Yahweh have sworn that Yahweh will have war on Amalek from generation to generation.
And that's what it's been like for us, man. From the slave trade, before the slave trade, we've always had war with Amalek. The Amalekites have always come up against the Israelites. Because Amalek is the first of the nation, man, of the Edomites. They did the most wicked to us. But Esau as a nation is still going to go down for the perpetual hatred that Esau had with Jacob. There's nothing new under the sun. So the Most High said that we're going to prevail over them then. We're going to prevail over them now. In these last days, man, we just need to stay strong as a nation. And the brothers and sisters in the industry that want to get out, they need to start teaching the gospel, man. Use your platform for righteousness, not for wickedness. Get persecuted. Get me Revelation chapter 2. Go jump to 10.
2 and 10. Yeah?
I got one before that still. Yeah. This is Matthew. This is Matthew chapter 5 and verse 10. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my name's sake. Yeah, falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so persecuted they the prophets which were before you.
Khan. And that's what it should be, man. Shalom. 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 Yeah, we're good, King. How you been?
I'm on out here, man.
Hear that.
Shalom.
That's what it is, man. Kanye should be reading the Matthews and be like, alright, cool, let me get with this. Because they're gonna persecute me for your name. I'm not gonna reward you, but hold fast to the gospel, man. Because they will never prevail over you. You know? They can't prevail over Yahweh. No man can prevail over Yahweh, Ba Ha Sham YAHAWASHI and his saints, if we keep the law, statutes and commandments. Get me that Revelation chapter 2 and 10.
This is Revelation 2 and verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life.
And that's what it is, man. A lot of our men don't want to, they don't want to see death, man. But to see death in the gospel is a beautiful thing. To see death in the gospel is a beautiful thing. Because there's a reward that is promised to you, man. But the Most High have mercy on who He will have mercy on. You just need to hold fast to what you have, man. Read on Revelation.
This is Acts chapter 14 and verse 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of power.
Khan. Do you know what? Yeah, let's bring out a few more. Because we need to understand this, man. We went through that tribulation, man. Yeah, we put these ones out. Because of where it is, these nations that are up against us, man, they've claimed to beat us and taken our lands. They've claimed to beat us and taken our lands. And it's only now that people are starting to understand and starting to notice who they are and who's lying. Yeah? And that's what it is. Get me Brother Kushab, bring up for me, Ezekiel chapter 36 and verse 2. Baba Kusha, the precept. Can you get me? Lamentations chapter 5.
This is the book of Ezekiel 36 and verse 2. Thus saith Yahweh power, because the enemy had said against you, Aha, even the ancient high places are in our possession. Verse 5. Therefore thus saith Yahweh power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession, with the joy of all their hearts, to cast it out for a prey.
And that's what they've done, man. The whole of Idumea, that's the kingdom of Edom. Idumea is Edom. It's Babylon, spiritual Babylon today. If you go into Jeremiah talks about the prophecy and the downfall of Babylon. And that's when the infrastructure starts to collapse, man. Read, King.
It's Lamentations chapter 5 and verse 2. Our inheritance has turned to strangers, our houses to aliens.
Yeah. But sooner or later, because of mighty men up here, giving you across the four winds, giving you thus saith Yahweh Ba Ha Sham YAHAWASHI, going precept upon precept, line upon line, to wake up our nation, you so-called blacks, you so-called Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, to tell you to come back to the gospel of Yahweh Ba Ha Sham YAHAWASHI, to repent, because the kingdom is at hand. Most High willing, we shouldn't be here too long. But if we are going to be here, we're going to go through the tribulations, man. With long suffering and patience, man.
This is 1 Ezra chapter 8. First Ezra chapter 8 verse 83. The land which ye... First Ezra 8:83. The land which ye enter into to possess is as an heritage is a land polluted with the pollution of the strangers of the land, and they have fulfilled it with their uncleanness.
Yeah, man. The land that we was meant to take, Israel, Zion, Jerusalem, that is our homeland. But the heathens have come in and they've defiled our lands, man. And when they've defiled our land, they've also defiled the Most High's temple, which is his people. So now that we've been defiled as a nation, there's corruption. But that's going to soon change, because we're in these last days. Because the wicked know that like Satan knows he has a short time. So the industry is trying to push their agenda so quickly. The media outlets are trying to push their agenda so highly, trying to cover up their wars. But you can't cover something that's coming to plain sight now. Like it says in Nahum, that your skirt, the Most High is going to lift up your skirts, man, and reveal your secret, man. Yeah, bring this out for me.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra 6 and verse 7. Then 2nd Ezra 6 and verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him. Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Man, and that's what we're seeing, man. Jacob's starting to wake up. Jacob is starting to wake up, and Esau's starting to fall, man. You know?
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 9 and verse 6. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines.
Yeah, man, a bastard is dwelling in our lands, but they're soon going to be cut off, man. He said Amalek was the first of the nation. He said Esau was the Esau is the end of the world. Jacob's going to be the beginning, man.
Hey, yo, I went to Speaker's Corner, bro. I read this to them. I said, the world is a bastard in the lands of Israel. So you can't be the real guys in the Israelites there, man. they were confounded, bro. They didn't know. Remember, they don't read the New Testament, do they? So you go straight into the Old Testament and tell them these things, these verses, that Israel's meant to be possessed by a people that's not their people. So they're trying to say they fulfill prophecies of David in Isaiah going back to the land. But when you read that, they said there'll be no more war in the land. The animals will be happy. Everyone's going to be hunky-dory, man. Or like smooth sailing, man. Peace. Shalom, man. But there's not shalom. There's war, man. There's rumors of war. There's pestilence, earthquake, diverse places. There's division. There's uprisings of the people, insurrections.
Real famine coming.
And there's the so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans. They're still in captivity, man. There's no like you guys, like you said, you're still calling upon anti-Semitism, Zionist movements, and still persecuting anyone that speaks about you damn Amalekites with your proud eagle vibes, man. So yeah, just wanted to mention that. Still, they were confounded. They'd be confounded, man.
Sister, come over. Come. Look, up with them. You ask what's this here? Do you see anything that relates to you or have any indignation, identity to you? What's your nationality? Jamaican. So slavery is a big part of the so-called Jamaican culture, right?
Yeah.
So-called West Coast West African culture, yeah? But when we go into these histories, it's in the Bible. But what's happening in our schooling system, they will never teach you who you are biblically. But all of this is mentioned in the Bible.
This should be a part of Black history.
Exactly. So this month will be in the UK, the Black History Month. So we're going to show you Black History Month in the Bible. Revelation.
Not even a month. Black History Generation. It's not even a month. It's a generation.
28.
This is Deuteronomy 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Egypt, sister, just means another word for bondage or slavery. Because in the we're gonna show you. Cause we're gonna show you our history.
Exodus chapter 20 and verses 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
So Egypt just means bondage. It means slavery. But they're not the same. They're not the same as us. Because the Egyptians didn't go into slavery. The Israelites went into slavery. Because from Joseph's time, the Israelites walked into Egypt. So they walked in free. They became slaves in Egypt. Did not the Egyptians enslave the Israelites? Then we came out of Egypt with Moses, right? The Israelites come out of Egypt with Moses. But Deuteronomy chapter 28 said,
This is the Bible dictionary, yeah? So there's a dictionary about the Bible, okay? And it's the word Ham, right? Ham.
If you get that one,
you know about Noah? 3 sons, right? Noah has 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, right? So now, the Israelites, the 12 tribes, the God's chosen ones, right? Moses, Judah, Benjamin, you heard of those guys? Levi, they come from Shem. Egyptians, Ethiopians, they come from Ham. You know, Cushites, right? Somalians and that, right? So let's show you something, right? This is Ham, the youngest of the son of Noah, the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes. Not the Negroes. They called you a Negro, sister, right? Niggers, right? They're Jamaicans, they're niggers, right? Negroes. Not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. So just because they're dark-skinned people doesn't mean that they're the Negroes.
"Oh, beautiful king." Exactly that. And that's what that's how they've confused us. Look, these are all the things that they've called us. And that's why they say black soul blacks. Because what it is, when we fled into the west coast of Africa, we fled amongst a nation of people that had the same skin tone and looked at us, but they weren't our nations. And brother's going to show you now.
This is Exodus chapter 11 and 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know that the Lord doeth put a difference between Egyptians and Israel.
No, they're the same.
Shall put a difference between Egyptians and Israel.
We're not Egyptians, we're Israelites. We're from a chosen seed line, but they will never tell us our history because it is documented in the Bible. Yeah? So this is what we're trying to say to you. Let's finish this because we didn't finish the Deuteronomy.
So Deuteronomy 28 and 68, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt slavery again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Is unto who?
Unto your enemies.
To Most High's enemies. He said we're going to be sold unto our enemies, sister. Yeah, this is black history.
Yeah. For bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
Not just black. Not just black. So called Hispanics and Native Americans.
Yeah.
Pocahontas and Moanas, they went through the same thing. South America.
South Americans went through the same thing. So that there are amongst the tribes as well, like Gad and Simeon and Manasseh. There are people like you see like the Colombians and the Dominicans. There are people, they have the same reggaeton, they have the same vibration of this as well, spiritually.
Yeah. So so look, that's what's documented in the Bible. This is the Old Testament. So in the Old Testament, it's already told us about the slave trade, man. See? So it's like because we never kept the law, statutes, and commandments. Go to 45, and this is how you know that this book only pertains to a nation of people. The so-called blacks, Latin Americans, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, the Latinos. This is how you can identify that this is our history book.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee till thou be destroyed.
Is a curse a good thing, sister? A curse is not a good thing, it's not. Yeah, but he's saying, the Lord God, his name's Yahweh, he's saying, these curses are going to come upon us. Yeah?
Till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee.
And what hearken means, it means we didn't listen. Those that can't hear must what? And that's what happened. As a nation of people, we didn't hear, so we felt. So we went through the hardship of slavery, getting sold onto our enemies. Because he's our Heavenly Father, but what they've done, they've used this book against us and gave us their sweet Jesus. Yeah?
Shall I carry on, yeah? 46, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Yeah?
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's become a sign and a wonder. It's upon our seed. You can identify the nation of Israel through these curses. So let me ask you a question, sister. What does Jesus look like? So-called Jesus. Right. Alright, let's go to Revelations, because we're going to show you how they lie to us, yeah?
Read it with us, sister, yeah? Look on there.
Revelations 13. Sister, it's just a few more minutes and then where is, because... Yeah, then tell them the good news while you're late. You got hair, and I know it's the sister doing your hair as well. Exactly, so tell the sister why you're late, because you're getting knowledge. Read it.
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, with girts about the paps, with a golden girdle. His head and his hair were white like wool, as white as snow. His head and his feet were like unto, and his feet were, no, sorry, his head and his hair were white, and his eyes were like the flame, as a flame of fire, and his feet unto fine brass, as if they were burnt in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters.
He didn't have no sweet singing voice, he had a deep voice. He had woolly hair, his eyes were red, flames of fire. Do you know why? Do you know why his eyes were red as a flame of fire? Some people would like to say because he's a wine people, he like to drink wine. He's actually pissed off of what's happened to his nation of people. That's his people. He's crying. When we cry, what happens to our eyes? It goes red. And we cry the most. We go through the persecution, the pain, the suffering, fighting our brothers and sisters killing each other on the street. You don't see that happening in the so-called white community, but it happens amongst our people. But then we cry. We cry the hardest and the longest, because these are curses that put upon our people. So what we're trying to say, sister, is you're an Israelite of the Bible. You're not a queen. You're not an Ethiopian queen. You're a princess of Zion. You're a daughter of Zion. You're royalty. You're not an Egyptian. You're not Nubian. You're an Israelite, and that holds the most weight. Get me Deuteronomy chapter 7 and 6. What last one for you, sister? Last one.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 7 and verse 6. This, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. Unto himself. Above all people. Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
And that's what it is. That's what it is.
That guy, look,
You know, the Most High has made us a special nation above all people upon the face of the earth, man. And you could see that the sister's spirit was fighting in her. She wanted to hearken, she wanted to hear. It's just fighting her, man. But, you know, with that, I want to pass it on to the next powerful speaker, and I hope, I pray to you, Ba Ha Sham YAHAWASHI, that people are edified, that brothers and sisters are edified, and the nation of Israel keeps waking up, and the Northern Kingdom wakes up. We'll say, Kwame Shamala.